This is a screencast that helps fill you in about the Qwizdom Student Response System. The Qwizdom Student Response System is a set of class remotes that allow students to individually, quietly, and accurately let you know how they're doing at any point during a lesson. It's engaging, it's fun, and it helps you adjust your lesson on the fly. Taking a look at the left sidebar, there are preloaded standards and lessons that fit your needs. As an example, in my class we're talking about percent. If I wanted to, I could present this lesson that's 48 slides long and very detailed about how to go through percent. Now obviously I'm not going to show all 48 slides. So I can take and I can delete some, I can change the content by just double clicking and changing what I wanted to. I can retype things in and close it out when I'm done. It saves it automatically. The main feature of this is setting up a quiz, which are all preloaded on here. Going through, if you were to take a look at all of these, there are preloaded quizzes with 15, 10, or more questions that allow students to get the practice that they need. Looking through here, there are some easy questions, and there's some that are harder. But it gives you an understanding of what the students know and don't know. You can also set up assessments. Say, for example, we had a Chapter 2 test, and I can put the answer key in there, present it as a test, and have the students insert their scores on a test rather than paper. One of the great advantages of the Qwizdom Student Response System. Now, getting to the presentation itself. Say I were to give my students a 15-question quiz like we have here. This is all talking about percents. I can go up here to the Present button. I have options of the classes that I teach and the play mode. I can have the answer key to where the students just use the remotes to put in their answers and move at their own pace. I can use it as a review to where it's not graded. I can have it as a spontaneous survey to where I can ask any question at any time and have students respond, or I can set it up as a game. Say, for example, we were to do a game. There's baseball, racetracks, bowling, spaceships, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, a questions game, and World Cup soccer. I can have students just participate, or I can record their scores and have it done in a way that allows me to grade it instantaneously. Of course, I'm going to use the remotes, and I could have the option of setting up a right and wrong feedback. I could also have it so that only students can answer one at a time rather than changing their answer at any point. One of the cons of the program is that students have figured out, and they figured out very quickly, that all you have to do is turn the remote on and off and on again in order to change your answer. You can have the students log in by their user ID number, so that way you can tell exactly who's struggling, who's getting it, and make the adjustments as necessary. You can also set up warnings if there are a high percentage of students that get an answer incorrect, and you can change that warning. It'll pop up in the top right. You can set time limits for the slide. There's really a whole lot of things that you can do for the students. Going back, I can look at the class list and see how my students had done after an assessment. For example, we took a Chapter 2 test in my algebra class. I can go up here to the reports and click on it, and there are a lot of specific activity reports that allow me to analyze each item on the assessment. I can go through here in the class answer report, and I can view, print, or save. In some cases, you can even email the results. So I can see that question number 11 was pretty tough, and actually I had my students skip that question. But looking down here, I see that question number 13 was very difficult. Only 33% of my students got it right. I can look through and see what my students were answering and go back at the test and fix that mistake. Question number 3, same thing. Question numbers 8, 9, and 10 were also pretty low. So I went back and I actually used this to reassess my students, reteach, and go through and emphasize the aspects that they weren't able to understand. I can also do individual student reports, whether it's a progress report, attendance, question summary, so they'd be able to look through and see exactly what it was that they weren't understanding. There are so many great tools about this Qwizdom that it's a must-have in your classroom. You can take attendance from it, set up seating charts, design groups, and it's very easy to add a student. All you do is click on it, put your student in the list, and there you go. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and I hope this convinces you to get an outstanding product in Qwizdom.